Welcome to this module with Chris Newton, founder of Marketing Help Online. Here's Chris.
A lot of years ago now, when I had just published my first book on do-it-yourself advertising, I'd get a great number of people wanting me to write their ads for them. And although I enjoyed this, I had a full schedule of seminars, publishing commitments and consulting. So when a letter arrived one day at my office from a client 2,000 kilometers away saying he had 5 real estate offices and he wanted help to create a marketing campaign and trained his people in professional selling, and that he was prepared to, quote, pay for it, I really didn't want to commit to this project. I guess I was somewhat brash at the time because I wrote back to him to say the fee would be $5,000 for the weekend, plus business class airfare and accommodation, and that I required 50% of the payment up front to lock the date into my diary and the balance at the airport on arrival. In those days, $5,000 for a weekend was fairly well unheard of in consulting. I figured that I had made my point, that I'd responded as required, and probably would never hear from him again. But a week later, a check arrived, the half deposit. Frankly, I was humbled by this man's confidence in my ability to deliver value. Do you know, the lesson in this story is not so much that I asked for what seemed like a fortune in fees for those 2 days, nor even that the client seemed fit to pay it. The real lesson in this is that it forced me to deliver that value. In fact, in the lead up to that weekend, I researched his market far more than I otherwise would have. I did layouts, I wrote headlines, I crafted sales scripts. He actually got $5,000 in value and a lot more. And he said so. There's another lesson here too. It's all about positioning. You see, because I charged such an exorbitant fee, when I got to the airport, he met me with the balance $2,500 check in hand as promised. And when we got to his offices, all his key people were there from all 5 offices. Can you see, if I'd charged a lower fee for those 2 days, chances are I wouldn't have delivered value at the level I did. And he wouldn't have got value, because you can be assured his people would have been up and down answering phones and going to other meetings. But because he paid me a small fortune, he made sure his people were 100% focused. It was an indelible lesson in positioning and in delivering value for me that I'll never forget.